Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna make a documentary video diary thing, I guess, about moving to where probably some interesting things go on. Right now I'm still in, and I'm sitting on my porch. That was a little kid riding by on a bike going woohoo. It's fall. It's starting to get pretty cold out. It's September 9th today. And I'll be going to within the week. And it'll be winter there soon. Maybe it's winter right now while you're watching this. Maybe it's winter right now while I'm editing it and I'm talking to myself, watching it, editing it in winter. It's pretty good so far. Lighting. I'll be moving in with my brother and his roommate slash bandmate, Michael. They are the Chewers.
Father John's got a forked tongue. Half is silver, half is blood. Doesn't think about which he uses. Chooses words like cow to cut.
And Michael's girlfriend, Catherine, and their friend Brian will also be moving in. Their apartment is only 2 bedrooms, so I'm not really sure how we're all going to fit in there. It'll be 5 of us. It's been called a commune by a couple of people. I don't know how accurate that's going to end up being. Hopefully we all make each other productive, but the odds are also pretty likely that we'll all just make each other alcoholics and chain smokers.
My name is Michael and I live in Nashville. My name is Travis and I live in Nashville. There's a sense of kind of unrealness. Maybe the first week you move somewhere, especially if it's somewhere that you've never been, or well, somewhere that you've never spent a lot of time in. Along with that kind of unrealness, I think what adds to the unrealness is that sense of promise. Initially, when you move to a new place, you don't know what you're going to encounter. I think when you move somewhere new, as I have a bunch of times, you kind of look at the unknown optimistically.
Do you remember Zachary, what I was about?
When you move anywhere, you're pretty much alone unless you know somebody. So you kind of have to go out and experience, and you kind of discover yourself and who you are and how reclusive you are and how brazen you might be to go out and do something different and go check something out. And you feel like making friends, make friends, but if you don't, you just kind of have to go out and take the world on by your own and hope that you'll find something that interests you for the time being. But I would say that it's good for the character every time you do any kind of traveling.
What the fuck is going on? I was like, oh, it's that one deal. Well, I flew here. Just like yourself. I got my own after a picture of an asshole. Syphilis in New York is different from syphilis in Los Angeles. All the way here. Shangle. Well, get a good time either.
I moved back because I didn't really have another place I wanted to go to. I left college and I really stayed there longer because I wanted to learn how to take care of myself. I needed to move back where I grew up and my family here, so take care of me and I would let them. It's pretty exciting at first. I was pretty excited to get out of the house. It was a really exciting time. I don't know why, but I had it since everything was going well. Like I was doing something right. But it didn't come from anything. I don't think of just the feeling was pretty overwhelming and good. I think that the feeling of excitement and being here and that's right, it's just that I chose it. And that if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. Even if it took a while to get up the energy to make another move.
There's no reason for me to move here. Except for that it was possible. It was kind of all just the same, It didn't matter where I ended up as much as just the experience of the new place. Once we got there, it was a little scary just because the idea we were going to have a life in this place and didn't really know what to make of it. It was so different, the landscape and the climate, just the people, the surroundings. It all seemed sort of bizarre, but exciting. I guess I came here just because I was tired of living the life that I knew. I was looking for something more exciting, I guess. A place where I felt like nobody knew who I was. and that I could just sort of find out things about people and about myself. I don't know how much thought went into that initially, but I knew that the place I was living before I moved here didn't really have any more to give me. But this place feels like home now. Suddenly, there wasn't just this place that I lived with no real meaning. It was the meaning had sort of just sprung up out of nowhere, so it didn't really matter where I was. And there was just a sense of purpose brought out of creating something.
There was a certain sense of freedom, I guess, just because at that point I had been there for a while, and although I was very comfortable and happy being there, it also was like I knew I had to get out eventually. It was pretty stagnant. I didn't really have anywhere particular to go, and no particular, like, I guess, knowledge or feeling like I had the ability to just go somewhere. So, I remember moving there. I had my own car, so I drove separately. I remember I listened to Mechanical Animals by Marilyn Manson on the way out of town. I mean, I was listening to it a lot probably anyway, and I was into him at the time. But I think it had the kind of sense of, had sort of a pathos to it and a drama, I guess, that felt fitting. I got to this house. We got there and got me all moved in and everything, and probably went and had food or whatever. And I remember that we found out that my computer didn't work, which was a big letdown because that was a crutch for me, because I was, leaving the house that I hadn't left much at all anyway. So I got there and then found out that this kind of portal to whatever, not being all by myself in this new weird place wasn't functional. I also had the idea that it was a limited time that I was going to be in this place. I didn't know that I was going to stay here at the time. So I kind of had the best of both worlds. So it was a sense of freedom. It was sort of exciting, to go to a new place. To meet new people, as I thought would happen at the time. That was the main thing. I was nervous, obviously. It was like any time you go anywhere.
Which is what?
New, but indistinct, I guess. It wasn't like I was like going anywhere that made me feel like I was anywhere particularly.
How long do you think it was before that started to fade?
It hasn't. I don't have anywhere particularly that I want to go. I don't have any particular desire to stay here or to leave here. There are places that you hear about that they sound worth checking out. But I don't really care where I am. It's the same people everywhere, to some extent. It's sort of irrelevant.
In what way?
A place is a place.
Okay, so here I am on my new porch in Nashville. It's still not winter, even though it's December. It's pretty unseasonably warm. I guess that is kind of the standard for here from what I've heard.
At this time, we need walkers and bus riders to go to your designated area. Walkers and bus riders to go to your designated area at this time.
That was the sound of a school PA that's down the street from us a little ways. Kids are just getting out of school. Pretty fitting. I don't think I really have any great insights. It feels really strange to be here. I'm getting used to it, but I'm not used to it. I think it's going to still be a long time before I am. For one thing, being done with this documentary, that's probably going to change everything pretty drastically. Because this was the last thing kind of tying me to my previous life back in. So now I'm going to really be here and nowhere else. I'm realizing bit by bit that I'm going to, wake up here in Nashville every morning, and I'm going to go to sleep here in Nashville every morning, and in the parts between that, I'm just going to be here all the time, every minute. So I've got to figure out what to do with that. It's going to be up to me from here on out what I do. Walk around, and the trees that are around here are Nashville trees. They're not trees. The air is different. It's Nashville air pumped out by Nashville trees. And the longer I'm here and the longer I keep breathing it, I will eventually be a citizen of Nashville in the very fiber of my lungs and the rest of me. I guess that's it. It sure has been a crazy journey, hasn't it?
All students have been dismissed. All students have been dismissed. Have a great afternoon.
I make it.